Tam Vai. Rahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi. Rameti Lokaramanad. Balabhadram Balochayat. Garbha Sanshartanat Tambhai. Rahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi. Rameti Lokaramanad. Balabhadram Balochayat. Garbha Sankarshanat Tambhai. Rahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi. Rameti Lokaramanad. Balabhadram Balochayat.
Garbha Sankarsanatam Vai.
Rahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi. Rameti Lokaramanad. Balabhadram Balochayat. Garbha Sankarsanatam Vai. Rahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi. Rameti Lokaramanad. Balabhadram Balochayat. Garbha Sankarsanatam Vai. Rahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi. Rameti Lokaramanad. Balabhadram Balochayat.
Garbha Sankarsanatam Vai.
Garbha Sankarsanatam Vai.
Rahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi.
Rahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi.
Rameti Lokaramanad.
Rameti Lokaramanad.
Balabhadram
Balabhadram Balochayat.
Garbha Sankarshanat. Because he will be taken from the womb of Devaki to that of Rohini. Tam, him, Rohini Nandan, the son of Rohini. Vai, indeed, Rahu, people will call Shankarshanam by the name Shankarshan. Bhuvi, in the world. Rama iti. He will also be called Rama. Lokaramanad. Because of his special mercy in enabling people in general to become devotees. Balabhadram. He will also be called Balabhadra. Bala Utrayat. Because of extensive bodily strength. The son of Rohini will also be celebrated as Shankarshan because of being sent from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. He will also be called Rama because of his ability to please all the inhabitants of Gokula. And he will be known as Balabhadra because of his extensive physical strength. Purport by His Divine Grace, and Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. These are some of the reasons why Balaram is known as Shankarshan. Balaram, or sometimes Rama. In the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. People sometimes object when Rama is accepted as Balaram. But although devotees of Lord Rama may object, they should know that there is no difference between Lord Balaram and Lord Rama. Here Srimad Bhagavatam clearly states that Balaram is also known as Rama, Rameti. Therefore, it is not artificial for us to speak of Lord Balaram as Lord Rama. Jayadev Goswami also speaks of three Ramas, Parasurama, Rama, and Balarama. All of them are Ramas. Om Madhyandamidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jadapatakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahakana Raghunatangitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sakadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchat Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharye Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vaschakya Devasvarine. Hare Krishna. I am deeply grateful for this opportunity to serve each of you on this truly auspicious day of Balaram Poornima in Bhaktivedanta manner. Thank you. Today we are reading from Canto 10, Chapter 2, entitled Prayers by the Demigods. That's number 13. This section of Srimad Bhagavatam is describing the birth of Lord Balaram in this world. These transcendental pastimes are nitya lila. They are eternal, without beginning or without end. And the transcendental sound vibration, which is descending through parampara, is non-different than the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Lord's pastimes. According to our sincerity, our surrender, and our absorption in hearing with a true desire to serve, we are not only hearing these pastimes, but we are participating. These pastimes are actually manifesting within our hearts. The story of Lord Balaram's appearance in this world is described in various Puranas, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, the Gopal Champu of Jiva Goswami, and Srila Prabhupada cites the Haribamsa of Vyasadeva. Lord Krishna, we know the story, and we will be discussing on Janmashtami his appearance. Vasudeva and Devaki were imprisoned by Devaki's own cousin brother Kamsa due to his envy and fear. He was about to kill his own sister when he heard that the 8th child would be the cause of his death. But Vasudeva, the husband of Devaki, on the very day of their marriage, he promised Kamsa that Devaki is of no danger to you. It is the 8th child. I promise I will bring every child that is born. Vasudeva was a man of such honor and integrity that even such a demoniac, cruel tyrant as Kamsa knew that Vasudeva would never break his word of honor. Through the influence of his various ministers and the intervention of Narada Muni, Kamsa put Vasudeva and Devaki in prison. They had 6 children, and each of them, right in the presence of the mother and father, Vasudeva Devaki, was ruthlessly killed directly by Kamsa. Yet Vasudeva and Devaki understood within their hearts that it was the will of the Lord to appear through them as their 8th child, so they kept having children. In one sense, from a material perspective, it makes no sense. They're in prison. The children will be killed. There's no place to hide them. But this was the nature of their surrender. They were willing to endure anything to assist in the mission of the Lord. These 6 children represent, they were previously the 6 sons of Marichi, a great sage in the world of demigods. And because they made an offense to Lord Brahma, they were cursed to be the 6 sons of Hiranyakashipu. And because they angered Hiranyakashipu, they were cursed to be killed by their own father. In their next birth, they were the children of Kalanemi. Kalanemi was born as Kamsa. And our acharyas describe these 6 children represent the 6 anarthas of the mind that contaminate our hearts. Lust, anger, greed, envy, arrogance, and illusion. And they all must be removed before our minds and our hearts can actually receive Krishna. Krishna takes birth in the hearts of devotees in the sense that Krishna appears to us when we become purified. But even after all these anarthas are gone, that's not enough. Still, we require to awaken love for Krishna. So Lord Balaram, the original expansion of Krishna and the original Guru, he entered into the womb of Devaki. He descended from Goloka Vrindavan to enter into the womb of Devaki, to prepare the womb to be a comfortable, attractive place for Krishna to reside. It's quite unimaginable, the nature of this womb. It is filled by Balaram's brotherly love, and it is filled by Devaki's motherly love. In previous manifestations, expansions, Balaram is Sheshanaga. He's the bed, the resting place of Lord Vishnu, to give him a comfortable place to reside. We read that Rohini, who is the original mother of Balaram in Goloka Vrindavan, she was one of the wives of Vasudeva. When Vasudeva was in prison with Devaki, Rohini was pregnant. When she was 3 months pregnant, Vasudeva, to protect her and her child, sent them to be in the shelter of Vasudeva's dearmost friend, Nanda Maharaj, in Mahaban Gokul. When Rohini, carrying the child for 3 months in her womb, arrived in Gokul, it is described she met Yashoda. The love between them is compared to the Yamuna and Ganga coming together at Prayag. How they celebrated one another. Srila Prabhupada, in this beautiful narration of his purports, is describing Krishna instructing his spiritual potency, Yogamaya, that the child that is now in Devaki's womb should be transferred into Rohini's womb. Replace Rohini's child with Devaki's child. And then I will appear in the womb of Devaki, and you shall be my younger sister, born of Yashoda and Nanda in Gokul. Srila Prabhupada describes from Haribamsa how this all happened. During the 7th month of Rohini Devi's pregnancy, at midnight, she had a dream. In fact, it is explained as if it was a dream. It was actually a divine vision. In this dream, she experienced a miscarriage. It alarmed her so much that she woke up from the dream and realized that it actually happened. There was no child in her womb. She began to despair and great anxiety. And at that moment, Yogamaya spoke to her. She heard the voice that I am now attracting the child of Devaki into your womb to replace your child. And in this way, his name shall be Shankarshan. So the original Balaram, the son of Rohini, entered into the womb of Rohini. Some explain they came together, the expansion and the original Balaramji. It was at that time in Mathura, soon after that Krishna entered the womb of Devaki. Rohini, on her 14th month of pregnancy, on the full moon night, the poornima of the month of Shravan, gave birth to Balaram. We are celebrating today Balaram Purnima. Balaramji especially remained in her womb for these 14 months. To be born just before Krishna. Jiva Goswami describes during this time when Balaram was a little infant baby, Yashoda Mai was also pregnant. And Krishna was in her womb. And sometimes Rohini would give little baby Balaram to Yashoda Mai, and she would embrace Balaram, and Balaram would very tightly snuggling close to her womb, just wanting to be close to Krishna. In the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, the very first chapter, after glorifying the Vaishnavas and glorifying the Gurus, he glorifies Lord Nityananda Prabhu and goes into quite detail describing Lord Balaram's unlimited glories and mercy, and describes the beautiful Rasa Leela that Lord Balaramji had with his gopis at Ramghat in Vrindavan Dham. He does so because in order to truly approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one must understand the utter necessity of receiving the mercy of Nityananda, which is the same as to understand Krishna. It is only possible by the mercy of the original Guru, who all other Gurus are representing Lord Balaramji. Srila Prabhupada would sometimes call Balaram the servitor Godhead. He quotes from the Acharyas in the scriptures that there is actually no difference between Krishna and Balaram. It is not that Balaram has lesser qualities than Krishna. Various avatars manifest certain percentages of the qualities of Krishna, who is Swayam Rupa. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Balaramji has all the opulences of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada would sometimes say the difference is Krishna has a complexion like a dark monsoon rain cloud, and Balaram like a white spring cloud, or like the full moon, or like pure camphor. Although Balaram is the source of all avatars, the original personality of Godhead, non-different, his eternal pastime is to serve Krishna, to serve in every way. Some people feel that they'll be happy if they could become God. But here we see the Almighty God, the source of all avatars of God. His happiness is in serving God, serving himself. And how does Balaram serve? As the Mula Sankarsan, the original expansion of Krishna. He serves in every possible way. In Santa Ras, the mood of neutrality, he expands as the Sandini Shakti. He is the predominating deity over the entire realm of Vrindavan in the spiritual world of Goloka. Balaram creates for all of eternity the most beautiful playground to facilitate Krishna's loving relationship with Srimati Radharani and with all of the limitless Brajavasis, gopas and gopis. He expands himself to become Krishna's umbrella to shade him. Such a humble position. He becomes Krishna's shoes, Krishna's pillows, Krishna's bed. He accepts the role of Dasyaras, Krishna's servant. Even though he's elder brother, he's cowherd boy, he's full of all opulences. At times when Krishna's tired, he will fan Krishna, he will massage his legs. In Sakyaras, he's Krishna's intimate friend and brother, performing unlimited playful games while they herd the cows or the calves together, laughing with Krishna, joking with Krishna, jumping with Krishna. He serves in Vatsalya Ras as Krishna's elder brother to sometimes protect him, give him guidance, even chastise him. And because he's elder brother, he does not directly engage in the conjugal pastimes of Radha and Krishna. But he manifests himself as Srimati Radharani's younger sister, Ananga Manjari, to assist so intimately in the Madhurya Ras pastimes of the Lord. In this way, Lord Balaram, his whole life, his whole everything, is to serve, to please. Not only to please Krishna, but to please every devotee of Krishna in the spiritual world. The Supreme All-Powerful is most happy when he's taking the role of being a servant of a servant of a servant. And it is this mood that represents the Guru or the spiritual master, for the pleasure of Krishna to bring others to enjoy with Krishna. Beyond his Mula Sankarshan Leela in Goloka Vrindavan, it is Balaram who becomes Mahashankarshan. Our scriptures say Mahashankarshan is the shelter of all jivas. He becomes the Supreme Lord of Vaikuntha. And for the purpose of serving Krishna in creation, it is from the Chaturvyuha Shankarshan that Lord Balaram becomes Charanadaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu, the Lord of the entire cosmic manifestation. Through his exhalation, all the universes are manifested. Through his glance, he impregnates the material energy with all the jivas who are destined to take birth within material existence. And through that glance, He activates the three modes of material nature and actually is the cause of everything happening within the creation. Within each universe, Balaram through Mahavishnu enters as Garbho Dakshai Vishnu, as the Lord of the universe. From him Brahma is born. All the knowledge of all the Vedas is revealed. And then the Lord manifests as Kshirodakshai Vishnu to reside in Svetadvip, a spiritual Vaikuntha planet within the universe. And as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, Lord Balaram becomes the Paramatma, the super soul within the heart of every living being. The name of Lord Balaram is Anantadev, which means he has unlimited, infinite spiritual qualities. He is Shesha because his glories and his presence is forever. It never ends. As Ananta Shesha, he takes a position below the Patala Loka, in the bottom of the universes. And it is described that he is carrying universes on his hoods. He takes the role of a divine serpent with thousands of hoods. And each hood has an entire universe. And what is the Bala? What is the strength of Balaram? This is an expansion of an expansion of an expansion. What is the weight of a universe? It's described millions of planets are in a universe. And for Ananta Shesha, its significance on his hood is like a single mustard seed. Sometimes we think that the problems, the challenges of life in this world are so heavy, such a burden. The problems of the mind, the problems of the senses, the problems of youth or old age, the problems of all the world around us. Do we not sometimes feel overburdened just by life? So Balaram's strength, the weight of the entire universe, which includes all the problems in the universe. It's less significant than a mustard seed on his huge, gigantic head of Ananta. Srila Prabhupada describes that without the mercy of Balaram, we cannot overcome the temptations and the problems of this world. He is known as Balaram because he enjoys exhibiting limitless spiritual strength. And when we take this shelter of Lord Balaram through the Guru Tattva, then Balaram's strength is there to give us that shelter. And there is none of our little burdens have any significance when we receive the mercy of Lord Balaram. Balaram eternally is engaging in every possible way in serving the Lord and creating interconnections to attract others to Lord Krishna. As Lord Narayan, he's Ananta Shesha, just there to assist the Lord. In Lord Ramchandra's Leela, Balaram becomes Lakshman. Lakshman is Rama's constant associate. Throughout the entirety of the Ramayana, we find Rama and Lakshman are always together in all situations. When Ram was exiled to the forest, Lakshman insisted, "I'm coming with you." Ram said, "There's no reason, you're not exiled, you enjoy Ayodhya." When Lakshman saw that Sita was going with him, he self-imposed exile upon himself. When they arrived in Chitrakoot, near the Mandakini Ganga River, Lakshman built a little hut for Sita and Ram to live, giving a place for them to reside and be comfortable and happy. And Lakshman, he never even went inside the hut, nor did he make one for himself. Throughout the day, he was with Ram and Sita, performing every possible service. And at night, when they rested, he stood outside that hut that he created to guard and protect Ram and Sita, so no one could disturb them. When they left Chitrakoot for Panchavati, Nasik, for any of you who have been there, there's the Balaram temple that was built by Lakshman, where Ram and Sita had shelter, and he stood outside to guard. On the order of Ram, he cut the nose of Suparnaka off. And when Sita was abducted by Ravana, Lakshman traveled barefoot, walking from the western place of Panchavati all the way down to Kishkinda Kshetra to meet Hanuman and Sugriva, down to Rameshwaram to fight the battle of Sri Lanka. And after all of that, when finally the glorious moment when Sita and Ram were reunited, Ram told Lakshman to build a huge pyre with wood and light it on fire to test Sita. Lakshman questioned Ram, "Why are you doing this?" But Ram gave the order. And he's Ramanuja. He's a servant of Ram. And later on, when they were restored to their kingdom in Ayodhya, Ram told Lakshman, "Tell Sita I'm sending her on a trip to the forest to visit Valmiki Muni's ashram. And when you get there, inform her that for the sake of Dharma in the world, she must remain there. This was impossible for Lakshmana, but yet for the service of Ram he did. Yes, so much of the sorrows of Ramchandra during this Leela, Lakshmana shared with him. And he resolved, in all future incarnations, I will be my Lord's elder brother. That way I don't have to do all these things. So he became Balaram. And in next incarnation he became Nityananda. So now Balaram is born, and soon after Krishna is born. They're living in Brihadvan or Mahavan, one of the 12 forests of Brajbhumi. Rohini and Yashoda were like the most intimate sisters, their love for each other. And similarly, Krishna and Balaram. They did everything together. When they're just little babies, they would be on the laps of their mothers. Yashoda loved Krishna and Balaram in the same way as did Rohini, for both of them. As they began to grow, Srila Prabhupada describes, it was a great festival when they saw little white teeth starting to grow from their mouths. And after some time they would count the teeth, compare them. The Supreme Absolute Truth, the Almighty Krishna Balaram, the source of all avatars, are little babies helplessly appearing to receive the shelter of their mothers and fathers. And they began to crawl after some time. They crawled in the muddy areas of Vrindavan, because that was just the most fun. When the cows would see Krishna and Balaram, they all had motherly love. Every elder gopi and elder gopa, they loved Krishna and Balaram as their own child. In fact, they loved them more than their own children. An inconceivable expression of love. And every cow, when they would see Krishna and Balaram, milk would flow from their udders and moisten the ground. And then in ecstasy, they would sometimes pass urine. So the sacred dust of Vrindavan, every particle is more precious than Chintamani, and it is Chintamani, more precious than all the jewels of the heavens. So that mixture of Braj dust, the cow's loving motherly milk and urine, would create like a wonderful paste that Krishna and Balaram would just, when they were just crawling, they would slide around. Sukadev Goswami compares it like little snakes. They would pull their back rear legs, slushing through the wonderful mud of Braj. And sometimes they'd hear the tinkling of ankle bells and they thought it was their mother's. And they'd slither to that gopi where they heard and when they would see it would not be their mother, they would be afraid and slither back and smother you. All the gopis would laugh. And Yashoda and Rohini Devi would lift up their children. Sometimes while they were crawling around, they would see a little calf and grab the tail. The calf would get scared and jump up and start running. And they'd hold on to the tail and be sliding around. They were too afraid to let go. And the gopis would be laughing and clapping their hands, singing their glories. These beautiful pastimes simply charmed the hearts of all the residents of Vrindavan. After some time, they learned to walk. Extraordinary. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, I'm the ability of men and women. I'm the intelligence of intelligence. I'm the strength of the strong. Whatever we do is only by Krishna's energies. But yet Krishna and Balaram are learning to walk. And as soon as they learned to walk, they began their pastimes of stealing. And Krishna Balaram, they were the leaders. The other little gopas, they would be behind Krishna Balaram to assist them. And so many times gopis would complain to Yashoda and Rohini what Krishna and Balaram were doing, coming to their houses. They would steal butter, eat butter, break pots. And if they couldn't find the butter because the gopis hid it, they would pass urine on the floors. How many times have you passed urine? Who cares? Krishna Balaram, 5,000 years ago, and we're still celebrating. That is all attractive. And at Brahmandagat, when Balaram came back to Yashoda Mai, Krishna ate dirt. Yashoda Mai was so concerned, so worried. How will you maintain your health, Gopal, if you eat dirt? Krishna said, I didn't eat dirt. Yashoda Mai said, but Balaram said you ate dirt. Balaram is always part of your pastimes of mischief. Why would he ever go against you? He said, I didn't eat dirt. And in this way, Balaram orchestrated this wonderful pastime where she looked in Krishna's mouth and saw the entire universe within Krishna's tiny little mouth. With all the planets and the oceans and the mountains and all living beings, she even saw herself looking in Krishna's mouth. There were certain pastimes because Balaram was Krishna's elder brother. There were certain things that Balaram would protect Krishna from. So Krishna especially performed certain pastimes on Balaram's birthday. Because on that day he didn't go to herd cows with Krishna. He was kept back, and Rohini and the elder Brajavasis would have a birthday celebration. And in those days, birthday celebrations were having yajnas, getting Brahmins to bless you, giving the little child would give in charity to others. This is traditional. On birthdays, the greatest thing to receive is blessings, and the greatest blessing comes by serving great souls. So on this day, Balaram Poornima, we're celebrating. Balaram stayed back. And that was the day that Krishna entered the mouth of Aghasura. We all know that Leela. Do you think Balaram would have let Krishna go into the mouth of Aghasura? Krishna took the opportunity. All the cowherd boys entered Aghasura's mouth, a giant serpent who came to destroy everyone in Vrindavan by killing Krishna and Balaram, or by killing Krishna. And Krishna expanded and delivered Aghasura. And after that, they were really hungry for nice prasad, and they sat on the bank of Yamuna together. And it was that day that Brahma took away all the calves, and then he took away all the cowherd boys. And Krishna, to satisfy the innermost desires of all of his devotees in Vrindavan, to fulfill their wish of being everyone's child, he manifested himself perfectly to be each calf and each gopa. And nobody, including Balaram himself, even suspected that there was anything that wasn't normal for 1 full year. And just before this day, one time it is described, they were on top of Govardhan Hill, some cowherd men and cows, and they saw their children. The cows saw their little calves, and they came running down Govardhan Hill. And when Balaram saw the love between the cows and those little calves, how they were licking them and crying, the cows in motherly affection, and how the cowherd men were embracing their children and weeping in ecstatic love, Balaram was bewildered. This type of love is only possible between Krishna and all. And then Krishna revealed to him that each calf and each gopa was Krishna himself. And again, on this day of Balaram Poornima was the day Lord Brahma returned and Brahma Vimohan. Krishna revealed to him that he was each calf and each cowherd boy. Brahma couldn't understand, how is it that all these cowherd boys are still here? And one cowherd boy looked at Brahma and said, "You are less significant to me than one of my goats." And this is a little gopa talking to Lord Brahma. He's just come down on his swan carrier. And moments later, Brahma saw